All right, guys, part 2. So I've got some asparagus that are going on a pan, and we're gonna roast those. So what this is I've cut the ends off. I will show you where I cut the ends off. I cut the ends off of my asparagus here, and then they're on this pan, drizzle of olive oil, and then my Montreal steak seasoning, but essentially that's salt, pepper, and garlic. They are going to go in the oven at 525 degrees, which is broil. And so they're gonna go in there. My pan is nice and hot. I'm gonna give this back to William. And we're gonna throw our mushrooms right into this. Like I said, you can use chicken, you can use spinach, you can be creative here. I've got oil in there already, but I'm gonna put just a tiny drizzle. And I'm also going to put a little bit of this Montreal steak seasoning in that, just to give them a little extra flavor. Just a little goes a long way. So put that up. And then I'm going to add some Italian seasoning to these as well. So a nice little shake of Italian seasoning. And I'll put that guy up here in just a second. All right, so we're gonna let these saute. Give them a nice little stir. Throw a couple around. All right, so you can see that my pan is still really dry, but those mushrooms sucked up every bit of that oil. So we're going to give them just a little more. Toss them around, give them a nice coat. These are baby portabellas. You can use the big portabella caps if you want to. You can use these. You can use regular white button mushrooms. Whatever you want to use. So I'm going to saute these guys right on up and let them kind of do their thing. Now while that's going, our water is at a good boil. Watch out, buddy, this is hot. Woohoo! I'm not even doing it. Alright, I'm not even touching it. I'm going to dump my ravioli straight on in this water. Oh, I didn't open it far enough. Okay. So be careful when you do this because the water will splash back at you. Ooh. So you can either put them in a bowl and then drop them that way. My goodness. Yikes. That made a pain in the butt. So I'm going to put this almost down in it just so I don't get splashed. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then I'm going to put those guys in there. Alright, now the thing with ravioli is you don't want them to stick and you don't want them to be overcooked. So our water was boiling. Now it has come down because we added something cold to it, so that dropped our temperature. And you're just going to give these guys a little stir off and on. And then I'm going to bring my heat down just a little bit. Alright, we're going to give our mushrooms another quick stir. They're starting to get some nice color to them. They're getting that darker brown. Apparently these are some super thirsty mushrooms, so we're going to give them another drizzle of oil. Keep giving those a quick stir because you don't want them to burn or stick. And let them cook down just a little more. Alright, I'm going to set that there and let William get into that pan. Let me show you. Now that lemon that I had earlier, that I put a squeeze of in that pesto, I'm going to add some of that lemon juice to my mushrooms. Kind of lighten it up, give it a little not so heavy flavor. And then Same thing. Just give that a nice little stir.
I'm hungry.
Alright. So these are getting soft. And you don't want them squishy, but you want them still a little firm. Some of these are still just a bit too firm. So just another minute or so and then they will be done. You can hear them whistling. Alright, so we're going to check our asparagus in the oven. Give them a quick little shake off and on. Let those finish up. I'm going to go ahead and get a plate. So we'll be ready to plate here in just a minute. Also going to grab some colander so that way I can grab my ravioli. So these guys are done. I'm just going to cut my heat off. My ravioli is still doing really well. We're just going to give that another quick stir. And put the lid back on it and try to bring my temperature up just a little more. If it's boiling, it'll cause them to break, and then you'll have a big old mess. So I just use the plain, like the cheap cheese ravioli out of the frozen food section at Food Lion. You can use the refrigerated kind. You can make your own. So that's completely up to you. I've got a big old mess everywhere right now. So just clean some of this up.
Oh, look at that.
What are you doing, Boo?
I'm saying myself, I'm hot. I ain't getting hot. What? They're getting hot over the mushroom. I ain't getting hot.
I'm tempted to clean up just a little bit, guys. I wish I would do that whole cooking process with the mushrooms.
Go.
Smells really good in here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, just gonna give those another quick stir. Those are perfect. I can smell the asparagus. Let's check on them again.
Ooh, they're getting hot.
A nice little shake. Just about perfect. Alright, let's check our ravioli. Getting there. Give it another stir. So ravioli will start to float a little bit when it's done, but you can always pull one out if you're not sure. And then you can touch it and see. This is just about done. Another minute or two, and that will be perfect. And what we'll do is we'll strain this off, and I'm going to add the pesto into that. But before I do that, I will have to take some out for my children.
So what?
To eat plain
Tea. What kind?
ravioli.
I'll eat ravioli.
Right.
Huh?
What?
What'd you say?
Alright, so our ravioli is almost done. I'm getting impatient. I know you guys are too.
Looking at all this food getting me the hunger pains. What? Getting hungry.
Me too, buddy. Me too.
But mommy, but you know what I want the most out of all of these so far?
What?
The lemon. Second most, I want the rolls.
Alright. So my asparagus are done.
Then the asparagus, then the ravioli. That'll be a yum.
So there's my asparagus. Those only took a couple minutes. And then I'm just waiting for our ravioli to get as done as I want it to be. And then,
the mushrooms aren't thirsty anymore.
no, they've cooked down. Alright. So, no. Check on one of these ravioli. We're going to cut it in half. I'm going to actually set them right here on my board. And we're going to see. Oh, yeah, he's fork tender.
That's a spoon.
Well, a spoon tender. And he's done. It's nice and creamy on the inside, nice and soft on the outside. So your ravioli is done. I'm taking a bite.
I want a bite.
Really hot. But perfect. So I'm gonna dump these into my colander that's in the sink.
Ooh, they're getting steamy.
Yep. Give them a quick shake. I don't want all the water off of it.
I'm not but ooh, it's getting hot.
I'm gonna leave some plain for my kiddos. And then here is our pesto that we made.
Yeah.
We're gonna take this pesto and we're just gonna kind of pour that in. Like I said, a little goes a long way with the pesto. Watch out, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I lost my towel to the asparagus. All right, so here's my spoon that I used for the ravioli. And I'm just gonna take this and I'm gonna lightly just fold it in there because you don't want to tear those little perfect cheese stuffed pillows of pasta. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm. Let me see. Get out.
Stop. All right, so let's plate one of these guys right on up. And I'll show you real fast. Watch out, pumpkin, hot stuff.
Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot hot.
Excuse me, please.
Hmm.
All right, so I'm gonna put a good spoonful of our ravioli.
Thanks.
William, they can hear you before they hear him. All right. And then I'm throwing utensils in the floor. I'm going to take a couple of my asparagus and I'm going to lay them across the top of my ravioli here. Kind of fan those out so they look pretty.
Like a spider web.
Throw some of these mushrooms right on top of there.
Looks like a spider. Well, if you look at it, it looks like a flying ant.
And then to top it off, we're gonna throw a little of our fresh bruschetta right on there. And that, let's see, we will give it a, what do I want to add? We can add a little extra cheese because Parmesan cheese makes everything better.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that.
Cheese.
And I've got some balsamic glaze because we know how much Chef loves balsamic glaze. And I'm just gonna drizzle that right over. And this is it, guys. Our bruschetta and mushroom pesto ravioli.